but we have Umoja, unity, so we love each other.
As we drive through the streets at night, this could be the hustle and bustle of any town or city across Africa. But if you look closely in the piles of rubbish and the dumpsters of this town, you will see something unique to Kenya. Tonight, an estimated 400,000 children will be living and sleeping on the streets of Kenya. I am out this evening with a small charity, Harambee for Kenya, who provides safe houses for some of the boys who wish to leave these streets. I am led to a group of boys, many whom are surprisingly young, huddled together in the darkness. They play a card game for pennies and inhale glue from a small plastic bottle that they pass around. Tonight, the charity has found two boys, Brian and Vincent, both 10 years old, who have expressed a genuine desire to leave the streets and to restart their education again. After some discussion with the boys, they agree to leave the streets that night and to come back with us. As the van prepares to leave the noisy, boisterous town, two small figures sit frozen with uncertainty in the darkness of the van. I think to myself how often these boys' lives must have been filled with uncertainty and a constant threat of danger. As we work our way through the late night traffic, the boys back at the safe house prepare to wash and welcome their new brothers.
Now you'll see how the boys handle it.
Because of our love. So if the boys are taken from the street and they are coming in Harambee, so we show them love, that we love them, so that they can adapt in here, so that they cannot go back to the street.
We wash him, we welcome him because he's my brother. He's suffering as I was suffering there. So I have that mercy. I know how he was suffering.
So if we bring a child in off the streets, the bigger boys, because they've seen it done before and everybody does it, they all have their place. Some of the bigger boys get the fire going because we always burn the clothes that they were wearing before in case there's lice and things like that. Then the other bigger boys get the water and they scrub them down. Someone else goes and gets towels and clothes. Someone else sorts a bed out for them and a blanket for them to sleep on for the first night, on the first night. And someone else sort out something to eat and a drink. And they'll just all welcome them in and tell them what's going on and not to be frightened, because there's no doubt they are when they come in, because they don't know what to expect. And it's just something that we've always tried to instill in them, because they've been so used to being beaten, and we don't allow that here. Okay, take them into Lydia's house, and then you can put the mattresses in there, in the little room on the floor, with the two blankets, and then when they've eaten, they can be tucked in.
Many of the boys are in the street because some don't have parents. Their parents are dead due to HIV/AIDS, neglect from parents. Some are single parents. Some just they are born out of wedlock. When the mother gets married, the father will not accept these children. So they find themselves in the streets. It's not their wish to be in the street.
That night it takes time for me to settle. I'm still struck by the two boys' vulnerability, and I wonder what thoughts must be going through their head, and how they will sleep tonight in a clean bed. When I wake the next morning, I see two very different boys, clean, looking more confident, playing like any other 10-year-olds. I can't express the joy I feel to see the boys safe and acting like any other children. Sadly, after 2 days, Brian and Vincent abscond and return back to the streets. The other boys tell me that this is normal, that they too returned back to the streets several times before they settled, that this is part of the journey of leaving behind their chaotic lives and readjusting to a life free of glue and extremes. This film is the inspiring story of how some young men have successfully left the streets. With the help of Harambee for Kenya, they have formed a loving and supportive home where each one of them have begun their lives again. This is the story of Umoja. This is the story of unity.
The life in the street, no one who was take care of you, and we come here, we settle down like brothers, and we take care of each other. We do the things good, and we go to school, and we learn more.
Before I met Harambee for Kenya, my life was based in the streets. I was a street boy, and I had lived in the streets for 5 years. So my life, I had to find some tactics on survival in the streets. So in the streets, I didn't have a place to sleep. Getting food was so bitter. So my past has been with a bitter story. I really dearly died twice. I escaped death twice.
Life in the street is somehow harsh because you get some people who sleep in ditches. They are beaten by police. They don't get food. They eat food from the dustbins, or sometimes they are all through hungry. Some sneeze grew which end to kill them, and some are killed by people. There's a lot of problem in the street because nobody cares about you.
If you walk in the streets now, you can find so many boys playing cards, gambling, sniffing glue, smoking, and doing sort of things that will never fit their lives. So the boys in the streets are so many, and they need help. They need somebody to take them out of rubbish and make them to be good people. They have no future now because they have lost it in life. But if they can find somebody who can give them hope in life, they can succeed and go to be great people.
I have been in that street for 3 to 5 years because I can't remember. From the time I was 5 years old, I was in the street. Yeah, onward. Then after I went to the street when our parents died. They were involved in an accident and they died. So we were left, me and my brother. So we had no other people to care for us. Some have faced many challenges. So the sneeze grew, which they put in that bottle. It's a glue inside. They sneeze it, then they get. I don't know how to explain that because you get somehow confused and you forget about your past.
When you breathe it in, so that when I breathe in, I cannot be feared to ask you for money.
Most of the street boy like glue is that glue is cheaper than the other drugs in the streets. So, and glue, when the glue, you sniff the glue, it gives you some things that you cannot even think that you are in the streets. It makes your mind forget some problems. So you have to, glue is like a blanket in the night. When you sniff glue, you don't feel cold.
They have nothing, absolutely nothing. They might beg, they'll steal, they scavenge on the dumps along with the Malibu storks, which stand about 3 foot tall, and of course the rats, the dogs, the goats and anything else that's up there. And they will recover things like plastic bags and wash them and sell them, or charcoal and sort of try and save it and sell it, or they'll go and find scrap metal that they'll take just to get some money. They're sleeping under verandas, under stalls in the market, anywhere they can, wrapped up in cardboard. And if the police or other people find them, they're likely to be beaten, certainly woken up and moved on. And so consequently, their life is pretty miserable. And of course, because they're so dirty, people don't really want to know them. And you often find there's just this little glue bottle, well, it's a water bottle, but with the smallest amount of glue in it, that's tucked in a shirt or tucked up a sleeve, and they're just sniffing out of it just to take the pain away.
You are not a person. They see you as a dog, a street dog, or something which doesn't have an owner. So there, you can face many challenges. It makes you to end up to abuse drugs. There was my friend. Now I heard that he died some back years ago. So and me, if you compare me, this time I would have died. My future would not be counted in this world. I would have died. Now I can say my future is nice, and I'm focusing on it by working hard and achieve my dreams.
To live here is so good, because if you compare here and where I was in the street, life in the street was so hard, because you have to struggle to find food. You have to, where you sleep, you sleep where there's cold, compared to here, where here you have beddings, you can sleep well, comfortable, mattress, you can even, there's no cold, so security is there, so it's good here.
Hi, my name is Carlos, and thank you for listening to me.
Carlos is a beautiful boy, and he chokes me up every time I think of him. Carlos came to us when we first started. Carlos nearly died twice because he was so badly beaten by someone once, and his leg was broken, and he was hospitalised before we had him. And just before we had him again, he nearly died again because he went to sleep in the wrong place, and when the rains came down overnight, he nearly got washed away. But he always said from the start, I am so grateful that I am here. I will work hard, and he's always saying the same thing, I'm so grateful that I am here. I will work very hard because I want to be someone, and I will then be able to put back into Harambee what it's done for me. And Carlos has progressed in the 10 years, and he's just qualified to go to university. And even only the other month, he found a street boy on the street, a little boy that he valued, that felt that he should come in, and he brought him here. And this young man, he will go far. He has a heart of gold. He is loving, he is caring, and he shows and oozes love to all the boys and the people around him, everybody. I don't know anybody that doesn't like Carlos.
When I came in here, things changed slowly. I started going to school, doing everything, like planting the trees, keeping the chickens. So I forget the things in the street. But when we work for them, the street boys, we still remember them, and we make some advices so that they don't drink that grooves. So when I come here, I started being a good guy because of education. So even today you cannot see me like a street boy, because you cannot tell me you are a street boy and I tell you no. Instead you are telling me I am a street boy, I should tell you should not call me a street boy. That things I cannot remember. Yeah.
Harambee for Kenya is a family, and we love each other. As the boys who stays in Harambee for Kenya, we love each other. We love our parents who are the white people, because they have given us this life. And every boy in Harambee for Kenya is very happy to be in Harambee for Kenya, because there is nowhere on earth you can find life like in Harambee for Kenya. For somebody to survive, Harambee for Kenya is the best place to be.
The love which they have here is not like the love which my family used to have. Like here, people are coming from different places. Like someone come from Kisii town, other one from Nairobi, but they take them like brothers, one family. They have harmony, love and peace. Without love, you can't live anywhere. Here is really a place where I find is more better than home. Yeah, I wish I could live here until my death, but once you get a job, once you live here, but they really support you until you get your job, your family. Yeah.
It's like a family, but because everything, we help each other. We call every other. If we go to school, we come back, we share every meal. No fighting. If you want to go home, you can go. It's like we call Leslie, our mom, our father, because he helped us. It's like a family.
But now there is a very big house which is right in Harambee for Kenya. There is a bed, blanket, a very big mattress, like a president where he will sleep, and also there is food to eat. I wanted to kill myself because of the harsh rule in the street. This has Harambee for Kenya has made my life to change from hopeless to something.
Yeah, what I can advise people is to help each other so that we can succeed. Without helping, I don't think this world will end up be crazy. I thank God because he has made me to be near. Without him, I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, they are delightful here, and they rise to the occasion. They're disciplined, they're going to school, they're working hard. Most of them are in the top 15 or more or higher. We've got a number that are number 1, 2 and 3 throughout the school, and these are kids that would never have had a chance otherwise. Someone said it's a drop in the ocean, why do you bother? We say if we can succeed with one, we've done it. If we succeed with one boy, he could become president one day, who knows? And or he could get a decent job and make a better life for a lot of other people. They are children, they need our help, and they need to be shown love and warmth, and that not all adults are going to treat them badly, to make them become valued citizens in society and be accepted in the future. They come from the dust, so it's setting them up like princes so that they can feel valued and wanted and have a life.
What I'll just say is to thank everybody who took part in this project. We would like to appreciate you and thank you a lot because you have saved our life. Yeah. Life is somehow difficult and somehow easy. So you have to take your life simple and work hard, respect one another, love one another, and never lose hope in life.
I am Emmanuel, and I just love my sponsor because he sponsors me. Yeah.
Without my sponsor, I don't think that I will go far. But because of him, I see my life and I see my dreams come true.
Harambee for Kenya means our home, or my home. Yeah, home for all Kenyans. If I can, I could like to build more Harambees for Kenya in many places, if I can, when I'm employed.
People did not expect me if I can reach this far. I've gone through my primary education, secondary education, and now I'm heading to college to take my courses. In the street you work for the next day, not even next hour, not even next day. But here I have seen a bright day because I'm hoping to get another course in the college so that I can achieve my goals and get employment so that I can start my own life. Sure, Harambee for Kenya have changed me from all the way, from ash, from rags. Now I'm somebody. I can sound before you.
Even the boys are working hard because they know this is not their mother or father sponsoring him. It's somebody who has just offered himself or herself to help him. They work hard to impress their sponsors so that they continue sponsoring them. They appreciate a lot for being helped, being taken care of, being loved and taken to school, and all sorts of things the sponsors do to them. And some are struggling. They wish to have one sponsor in life because not all have sponsors. A few have sponsors. Some have not had sponsors, but God is there. Can't leave them alone. One day they will get one. Yeah.
We always need sponsors for the children because when they go to secondary school we have to pay for it. If we don't have a sponsor for a child, he can't go to secondary school. It's quite simple. Just to feed all the children we've got so far, we need to raise just over £2,000 a month, which is a terrific amount for a small charity. And then with the schooling as well, it's not much by comparison to England, but for here it's enormous amounts of money. We're not a big charity. We don't want to be a big charity. But we might have 0.0003% of the boys that are on the streets of Kenya. But in this town, we've got nearly 10% of them. And that means we can make a difference. And the same in Meru. We've got nearly 10% of the kids that are on the streets are in our house. And it's hard work. And we always need sponsors. But we find it very hard to ask people. We find it very hard. We don't do the big thing like other big charities, and that's fine that they do that. They can. We don't have a fundraiser. Nobody in our charity in the UK gets paid. We're all volunteers. The only people that get paid in Kenya are those that are physically looking after the children. And the hardest part is to appeal to people. And I would say to people that it doesn't take much to make a difference at all. And for instance, £25 a month will pay for a child easily to go to school with everything included. A family of 4, £6.25 each is nothing for us in the UK and any other part of the world really. And I would just say to people, please consider it.
if somebody has a feeling for other people's lives, then that's where the sponsorship comes in. Like, oh no, it can't be that that person is just like that. I think there's something I can do about his life. To me, that's how sponsorship comes in.
And now I'm about to go to university, and I think my life now is fully changed, and I really thank all the sponsors who has made me from zero to a hero now. I can smile. Oh, thank you.
What we wish you as brothers, we say thank you for the wonderful job they are doing. Thank you.
What I can say is that I really love all the boys of Harambee for Kenya. I love all the sponsors. I love everybody in this home. And what I can say is that the boys really also love you all people.
Amasa, water burn. Let them